OK, just before the break, we were talking to Hollywood star George Clooney. He's stuck around for us. He's here now. I'll tell you one of the things that I liked about the film Leatherheads is it reminded me of a sort of old-fashioned time that I guess we all slightly miss in a way, where, you know, the values were different. And apart from the football and the romantic comedy between you and Renée Zellweger, there's also this big dilemma in the centre of it, isn't there, about journalism and celebrity, which I know you know all about, whether Renée Zellweger's character exposes a celebrity who may not be what he claims to be. Do you think that in a sense, those kind of values of celebrity were different then, or is it just all the same as it is now?
Well, I don't know. I think that it just happens at a much more accelerated rate. You know, we've had people who were sort of labeled as heroic that last for, you know, 100 years when it was just by rumor. And now with the internet, you know, they may be heroic, but it'll only last for about a week before you figure out what might have actually happened. So I think it's just sped up
a lot faster. Do you think it's something kind of unsavoury about people digging around? I mean, people must have looked to try and find scandal on you over the years. I mean, obviously they don't seem to have done. But, you know, is there something sort of funny about that? Do you mind that? Does that come with the job?
It comes with the job. The job has changed in the last few years, sort of, you know, exponentially, really quickly, because there is so much more. You know, it's not that they're looking up scandals on you, which I'm sure they can always find. You're always going to do something stupid, but that they can create them now. You know, virtually every day, I'll get a call from my publicist or my agent going, you know, yesterday I was at Jay-Z's wedding, you know, at Jay-Z and Beyonce's wedding, and, you know, I wasn't. And there were eyewitnesses there that saw me there drunk, and, you know, I very well might have been drunk, but I wasn't. So it's always about, things are very different now in terms of the rules. They just float a rumor and it becomes fact before you even have a chance to answer it.
Now, one of the things that we all love to look at and speculate on is you with pictures of various women, and we do have pictures of this, so it must be almost true. You're at least standing next to them, and I think the last time we all got very excited over here was you and Sarah Larson on the red carpet at the Oscars. Immediately we were wondering if you were going to get married and settle down. Is it kind of crazy when...
Yes, I hear that.
Did you hear that? Are you married?
This morning, that's why I'm here. This morning, quietly, in my own little private room. There was only 3 of us there. Now, because Sarah couldn't make it, so we did it by, you know, the same way you're doing this.
The thing is, of course, we Brits think you Americans don't understand irony, so I'm now going to believe that as true, and it will now become fact forevermore. But is it strange to kind of live your life like that, and every woman you say hello to is immediately a future wife? By the way, I'm married if you're scared at all. Don't worry, it's not about me.
Okay, I hear you. You know, I think I've lived my life for a long time sort of in the public eye. My father was well known, my aunt was well known. So I always had some understanding of what that kind of popularity is and how little it has to do with you and how much it has to do with sort of other events and how quickly it all goes away. So in general, you just take things as compliments and keep moving forward.
I guess maybe one of the positive sides of that sort of side of celebrity is that sort of fame has a currency, and I know that you've shown support politically in the States with Barack Obama and lent support to various humanitarian causes such as Darfur. Is that sort of having that influence important to you?
It is, in particular, you know, politically it's difficult because in the United States, celebrity doesn't necessarily, unless you're Oprah Winfrey, doesn't help at all. In fact, it's usually a hindrance to them because they can always sort of frame it as Hollywood versus the heartland, you know. But it is great in terms of trying to do humanitarian things, because if there's going to be a lot of cameras that are going to follow you around, then you go to places where cameras don't show up very often. And if you can get some good out of it, that makes it all sort of fun and worth it.
Does it affect your work, though? Does it kind of come back on you in terms of the parts you take and the way people regard you if you've affiliated yourself to a cause?
Sure, but, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? You got to live your life. If you have an opinion, if you have a thought, if you have, you know, I was very much the outcast in my country for 4 or 5 years when, or 3 or 4 years when I was speaking out against the war. And people were whispering to us, and, you know, then I made Good Night and Good Luck sort of as a protest to that. At that point that you kind of go, well, look, my job now is to do what I believe in, and if people don't want to see you, then you go away. That's the idea of fame.
And I guess now that you've had so much success, you've won an Oscar and many other things. I mean, does something like winning an Oscar, even though you had so much success beforehand, does that make a difference?
It makes me much harder to live with.
We're looking at a picture of you grinning, holding it, actually, as you say that. Where have you put it? Have you still got it?
It's here. It's right here. It's back here somewhere. I have it. I don't want to keep it right here because that's gauche. No, it's back in. It's over a fireplace in my house. When my friends come over, I make them pick it up and we take photographs of them giving an acceptance speech.
That's really good fun. Although
I actually did that with Walter Cronkite.
Really? And of course your friends as well, be people like Brad Pitt who haven't won one. Do you kind of gloat a bit and make him feel bad?
That's what I enjoy doing with Brad, is gloating. Because, you know, things aren't going very well for him.
Yeah, he's got that ugly woman Angelina Jolie, hasn't he, kicking around him as well. He suffers, poor guy.
She is just hard to look at.
Well, actually, quickly before we leave you, there are rumours that you are hosting their wedding, in fact, in your house in Italy. Any truth to that at all?
That's right. No, but that rumor started once a couple of years ago, and there were literally, I'm not exaggerating, 100 reporters outside my house in February, which is not the time to get married in Como. And so when we found out about it, we hired tables, high-top tables, and had them all laid out in the lawn just so that they all hired helicopters and flew around for 10 days waiting for a wedding that never was happening.
You are just mean, and I thought you were such a nice man, honestly. George Clooney, it's been great talking this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with Leatherheads. It's out this Friday. I know people are going to love it, but great to talk to you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Great to think that they got their own back. And all those journalists, they were sitting there for 10 days. Where are they? Get the helicopters up. Man, that must have cost. They're sitting in America laughing.
Fantastic. Exactly. Just evil.
Very evil indeed. OK, we're going to find out what's going to go on with the weather for the rest of the day. Claire, standing by.
It's looking not too bad. Not too bad at all. I think we'll most of us see some sunshine, although further north there is more in the way of cloud. And April showers right the way through this week. Let's take a look.